The wastewater treatment plant is over 30 years old, and I have some slides a little bit later. You'll see, I mean, it's showing it's getting old, and there's many repairs that have had to be made on it, and it's been upgraded too. The new permit limits that the city's receiving in their permit, the city cannot meet them. One thing is the disinfection requirements. The city does not have disinfection right now, and when the new permit comes out with that requirement on it, then they'll be out of compliance. So we have to add disinfection. Like I said, the facility is 30 years old, and it needs to be updated and allowed to handle all the extra flow that it receives. And one bullet point on there mentions what I said a while ago, that it's 30% over capacity right now. Or if the bond does not pass, then we'll lose our spot, because they're already expecting us to apply. We've been talking to them, and also the Community Development Block Grant Program, which I hadn't mentioned yet, but they have a grant available too. So we're expected to be turning in the applications for them, but if the bonds doesn't pass, then we'll lose our opportunity to get those grants to go with the loans. Everything is based on a 5,000 gallon per month user. I know some people use a lot more than that, some people use a lot less, but all the agencies base everything on a 5,000 gallon per month user. The average user charge for a 5,000 gallon per month user is, or would be, if we pass the bonds, it would go up to $60.98, which is an increase of about $26.46. If the city had to finance this through a bank without getting any grants to go with it and the low interest loans, the user charge for a 5,000 gallon per month user would be $112.56, which would be an increase of about $78. So there's a big advantage to voting for the bonds on this. It's going to cost a lot more money if you don't. The system was upgraded. There was 2 stormwater screw pumps put in. A stormwater / peak flow clarifier was also installed, and I'll have a picture of all this stuff here in just a moment. So. And they also added another sludge holding, they had added an aerated sludge holding basin. And the peak flow was increased to 5 million gallons per day at that point too. Okay, this is an aerial photo of what the treatment plant looks like. And you probably can't read any of those small words, can you? So, down in the lower left, it says peak flow clarifier influence screw pumps. And then right above that says the influence screw pumps. That's where all the lines come in right at that point, and that's where the screw pumps are, and it's pumped up. If the flow is over 4 or 5 million gallons per day, it flows through the stormwater clarifier pump or stormwater screw pumps and comes over to that big basin down at the bottom of the screen. The regular wastewater, when it's treated, is pumped up into that building. It's right down at the bottom down there, right above that big circular basin. And that's where the mechanical screen is and the aerated grit chamber. From there, it flows if you look closely, there's a large, skinny, kind of an oval shape. It's called an oxidation ditch. And that's, it's kind of hard to see back there, I'm sure, but that's where the biological treatment is. Most of your treatment occurs in that basin. It flows from there over to the side where to your left, where there's 2 small clarifiers over there. And in those basins, the sludge settles out and the clarified water goes on out to the creek. We're looking at continuing the extended aeration process, which is the oxidation ditch is one of those types of systems. And that's the extended aeration activated sludge process. Again, 2 million gallons per day for design. And we're going to have it set up where to handle peak flow through the plant of 8 million gallons per day for extended periods. A short period will be able to handle 12. And then we're also going to have a peak flow equalization basin that will be able to handle all other flows. And if we get enough inflow and infiltration taken out of the system, hopefully we won't be needing to use that too much, and maybe we can cut back on the size of that. So all the lines will come in at the same point they are. Well, they'll be coming to that point. We're going to extend them on over to that great big square at the top that represents the flow equalization basin, because we have to have an inflow pump station because of our elevations that we have. So what we're going to do is go over there. We'll have a large pump station there and pump up the hill to the new treatment facility, which is over on the right. And we'll have, it's similar to an oxidation ditch, and basically you can call it an oxidation ditch. It's with several different tracks around it. And the way those are set up is whenever your flows get high, you can cut off flow from them to your clarifiers and allow the high flows to go on through. And that way you can still meet limits at a higher flow. So that's the advantage of using this type. There's also 3 clarifiers shown down there in the lower portion, and we're looking at adding an additional sludge holding basin. We're going to use as much of the existing facilities we can. The existing oxidation ditch will be used for peak flows, or it could be used for sludge. And the same with the existing clarifiers, and the same with the stormwater clarifier. It just depends on what our needs are at the time. We're going to be able to use them to handle future flows, future sludge issues. The concrete, as long as it's constructed properly, which those basins are, lasts a long time. So we might as well utilize them as much as possible.
Can we put it off? And it has been punted a few times, and it's to the point now it cannot be punted anymore. And that's the base of it right
Yeah, because pretty soon we're going to have to be spending a lot more money just to keep the existing plant afloat.
there.
Yeah, we gotta get it fixed before,
Yeah, before it just conks out on us.
and we've already lost that one grant for that
Yeah,
community.
and that was in my presentation. I didn't bring it because I couldn't see my screen very well. But yes, we lost the grant that would have allowed us to pick up that subdivision over on Route Y, over there by the Y building. We were trying to be able to provide sewers for them, and the city was going to get the grant and be able to do the project. And it was 100% grant too, but since our treatment plant's overloaded, they wouldn't allow us to do it.
It would close up a lagoon. They're having problems with the lagoon.
And it could be, if this bond would pass, and we see that it's going to be built, and it may be that we apply it back, and the state would work with us to get approved to do that on 100% grant also. But the other thing is, if we get tied up too much, and people come and says, okay, I've got this new house and I need to hook the sewer up to it. Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They could restrict us from putting anything else to it. Okay, so we need to make sure that everybody understands the importance of this and understands the way that it saves $50 a month would be to pass the bond. And that's the best way I know to put it.
Yeah, because sometimes they'll go through and shut down a community on being able to do take any extra flow, any new connection experience.
It sure stop the growth, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Be what?
I said that would sure stop the growth.
Oh,
Yeah, that would hurt.
and we have had positive growth for the last 18 months to 2 years,
Yeah.
I think.